behind the scenes when no one is looking, you've been treating this human with respect. 5 ways to get yourself out of a slump, to get yourself out of a rut, and to start feeling better. Hello my darlings, welcome back to another video. If you're brand new, my name's Lucie, and on this channel I share all kinds of things about personal development, spirituality, and how to become the best version of you. Now, if you are familiar with the law of attraction, I'm sure you know that it's a priority of ours, it should be a priority of ours to feel as good as possible. But some days that is much, much harder to do, and it is much easier said than done. Here in the UK, it is winter at the moment, the days are very, very dark, and as much as I try to find the beauty in each day, it certainly can feel harder to feel good on a day when it's dark, cold, and cloudy compared to a day when there's sunshine and blue skies. Having said that, as I'm saying that right now, the blue skies are clearing and the sun has come out, which is kind of magical. Instant manifestation. Anyway, so what I thought I would do is I'd share with you 5 realistic things that you can have a go at doing while you're feeling low or you're feeling in a slump. Because some days, you know, if somebody says to you, oh, move your body, do yoga, work out, but you don't even feel like you have the strength to pick up and unroll the yoga mat, some of these videos can be unrealistic sometimes. So when creating this list of things, I personally was in a slump myself, and so it was easier for me to be able to relate to you if you're feeling super low right now. So the first thing I would recommend is to put away all distractions. Now, I know you're currently watching a video on YouTube, and, you know, well done for reaching towards a video that can offer some answers, can offer some solutions. But other than, you know, some practical videos like this, at all costs, please avoid to do too much scrolling through social media today. Please avoid to just get stuck in a scroll hole and go through a ton of people's Instagram stories, because often when you're looking through other people's Instagram stories, you know, you're getting a snapshot of the best moments of their day. And it can be so easy to compare how you're feeling today to how they're feeling today, and to feel some kind of you know, feeling crap about yourself, or some kind of envy or jealousy or any of these kinds of feelings. There is no right or wrong. There is really no right or wrong when it comes to this. If you're feeling crappy, you know, it's important to listen to your body and to your mind. And if your body and mind is saying that even the most simplest of tasks are too difficult today, then respond to that accordingly. Don't ignore those signals. Your body and your mind are trying to tell you that, you know, it's important to recharge, it's important to heal, it's important to recover from whatever it is that has drained you to this point. So remove those distractions and allow yourself to have the type of day that you're having, rather than feeling guilty for having the type of day that you're having these feelings because you're seeing other people having the best day of their lives. Turn off your notifications. If possible, even put your phone away in a drawer. And let's move on to step 2. Brain dump the things that have been going round and round in your head. So something that I often experience is, you know, if I'm feeling drained, or if I'm feeling just totally out of creative energy to do the things that I need to do, even the simplest of tasks can feel very overwhelming for me, and my brain likes to sort of stack them all up and try and juggle them all at once, and you know, not feel certain if I'm going to actually be able to achieve any of it anyway. And that can really lead to me being very unproductive, and it can lead to it taking the longest amount of time just to do the simplest of tasks. So if you can brain dump all of these things that are going around in your head, the things that you have to do, the things that you need to do, and just have them there on a piece of paper, at least it means that you don't have to be holding it all in your head, and you can rely on the piece of paper to remember it for you. Now, my team and I, we understand that the language we use is important. And so we often remind each other to change our language from saying, I have to do, or I need to do, or I must do, to saying, I get to do. I get to vacuum the house. I get to answer those emails. I get to. And that can immediately cause a positive shift. That's the advice I would employ on a normal day. But on a day where even that is not helpful, then my advice on these particular low days is to press pause on absolutely everything that you can press pause on. Reschedule appointments. Today I rescheduled 2 appointments, and I was just open and honest and vulnerable, and I said, I've been giving so much to so many people recently. I need to block out some time for me to fill myself back up again. Is it okay with you if we reschedule to tomorrow so that I can give you what I want to be able to give you? And both people replied almost immediately saying, absolutely, of course, totally understand. Take all the time you need, do what you need to do. It's so important. Okay, so I'm very grateful that I'm surrounded by people who understand that. But I actually think that more people than we might think understand that. I was giving myself a hard time, and I was even a little bit anxious when I was about to message them both. And as soon as they replied, it was like a weight was lifted, because I realized that actually I had been giving myself a harder time than anybody else was. How many of you actually think that perhaps the person who puts the most pressure on you out of everyone in the world is actually... Don't be afraid to let people know if you need a day or some time to recharge and recover. These days, more and more, people are more understanding of that. Wellness and mental health is something that's becoming more of a thing that people are consciously aware of. If a boss or employer doesn't support you when you need to take a break for mental health reasons, they could be in trouble for not supporting your needs. So, we do live in an era where it's totally valid and doesn't mean that you're weak to say, I need some time to recharge. I hope you can understand. I want to be able to perform the best I can perform for you and, of course, for myself too. And so I need to take this short pause to get my life in order and to fully recharge so that I can be and do the best that I want to do. My third tip, typically as an entrepreneur, I have done a lot of personal development, and I've read a lot of books, and I've heard a lot of people talk about self-discipline. There's a book called Eat That Frog, which is all about doing the thing that you least want to do first and getting it out of the way. And that is really great advice for, in general in life. However, on days like today, when you may be feeling particularly low, as much as having discipline is important to change your life from where you are right now to where you want to get to, and as much as, we do need to step out of our comfort zones, we do get to step out of our comfort zones in order to make changes. If you do that at the detriment of neglecting doing things that make you happy, and doing things that give you an outlet, and doing things that fill you back up, then eventually your cup is going to run dry because you are neglecting, nurturing, and nourishing your mind, body, and soul. In general, I would say, step out your comfort zone, and, you'll feel very accomplished by doing the things that may scare you first. But on days like today, let's do what we want to do more than anything first for a change. And this is what Abraham Hicks recommends all the time, actually, to constantly, do the things that you want to do. Now, we all have certain responsibilities. You may be a parent, you may have a team of your own. There may be things and people that rely on you. But other than that, what do you want to do today? Like, if you could completely pause everything on your to-do list, what would you want to do? Would you want to go for a walk? Would you want to sit down with your favorite hot drink in bed and read your favorite book, or watch your trash television series, or, what would you want to do? I'll give you some examples of things I've been wanting to do for a while that have been on the bottom of my to-do list every day because they haven't been deemed as a priority, as something productive that's going to move my life and my business forward. And so day by day, week by week, month by month, they've just never been done. Digitizing my grandparents' photos from Shanghai days when they lived in Shanghai. We have loads of family albums here. It's been something that's not been as urgent or as much of a priority as any of my business related tasks. And so I haven't been able to look through those photos. I haven't been able to digitize them, upload them to our digital family archives, which I'm creating. And this is something that I think would make me feel really, really good. So that's something that I want to do today. So it's something that I'm going to do on a day like today. Also, it's running up to Christmas at the moment. I went like that because I'm pointing at my Christmas tree. Every year, my entire life, we've had a tradition where I design a Christmas card. Like, even when I was a baby or a toddler, I scribbled something and my Christmas cards have gradually got a nicer looking ever since. So I want to sit down, I want to get inspired, I want to paint a winter watercolor scene and turn it into the prototype of our family Christmas card this year. And this is something where it should be enjoyable. And I've been kind of putting pressure on myself, thinking it's already December the 7th and you haven't done the card yet. And if you don't do it soon, it'll be too late for Christmas, So instead, I just want to sit down and paint. And even if you're not somebody who classifies themselves as an artist, even if you're somebody who's been told that you're not artistic, you are. All of us, we are creators. We are creators. That is who we are. That is the form that we currently exist in. You've come down onto this planet with hands, with eyes, with a mouth, with all of the things that we have, we can create with. We can use our hands to create things. It's a very goddess energy. It's very feminine energy to use your hands to cook, to do gardening, to create, to, all of these things that we can do with our hands, to physically make things with our hands. It's a very powerful creative release and outlet. So even if you didn't get a good grade at art at school, which I think is a load of rubbish, I know that sometimes when we do art and we don't believe that we're good at art, it can make us not enjoy it because we think that what we're doing is wrong. But if you could throw the whole rule book out the window and you could just get a pen and a piece of paper and doodle and scribble and draw funny things and make patterns, and it's the most beautiful meditative task, and it can allow you to release what is inside you onto a piece of paper in a really liberating way. The fourth tip to get yourself out of a slump that's nice and easy is do 1 or 2 or 3 things of self-care. It might be moisturizing your hands and doing your nails. It might be putting on a face mask or a hair mask. It might be putting some makeup on. If you haven't got the energy to do the full makeover, that's okay. But if there's just one little bit of self-care and grooming that you can do, you're showing yourself some love and affection. And this is a really, really important part of filling yourself back up again. To remember that you are a queen, that you are a king, that you are a god, that you are a goddess, because you're treating yourself like one. So it means then when you interact with other people, behind the scenes when no one is looking, you've been treating this human with respect. And that's really important. And the 5th tip to get yourself out of a slump is to take your inner child on a play date. So this is something that I love to do. I am of the generation where when I was a child, mobile phones and social media did not exist. And so what I often like to do to kind of recalibrate my system is do things that I did back in the 90s, you know, which didn't involve social media. It didn't involve a computer. Maybe it would involve watching a Disney movie or it would involve playing, creating, being very present in my environment. Anything that your inner child loved to do, think back. I've asked people this question before. Some people have said to me that their inner child used to actually love jumping in puddles and playing and getting muddy and playing football in the mud or whatever. Or, you know, that their inner child loved to braid people's hair and, you know, play with dolls, or used to love to bake cupcakes, or used to love to listen to a particular band or watch a particular Disney movie, or, you know, anything where it really just brings you a sense of nostalgia can again be really healing and soothing, and aligning. And when we are children, we are very aligned. So by doing activities that we used to do when we were a child, it can help us to feel that part of who we are light up again, switch back on again. Which then means that as we proceed with all of the things that we need to do, that we get to do over the next few days, we're doing it from a place where the whole of us is tapped into, and we can you know, leverage our full power. You know, if you feel like you're currently in low power mode, it's time to bring who you are back together again, so that you can use 100% of who you are to progress in the future. So if you got value from this, please do give it a thumbs up. Thank you for being here. If you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe and ring my bell so that you never miss a video. And I'll see you next time. You got this. Bye.